Hey, hey, hey. Today I want to talk about execution, to execute. I've been reflecting on different things in my life and just talking to young ladies and understanding the power of execution. Execution has several meanings, but the two that are most important to me that I really apply to my life and I feel like that has helped me in my life is to perform and to kill or to get rid of. And that's so important because on IM, we do talk a lot about, and the goal is to be the highest version of ourselves. And so there's a unlearning, there's a ridding of patterns, and then there's the performance in this moment. What do I need to do to move towards my goals? So I want to share 3 things that helps with execution, things that I've used in my own life and applied, and it really helps. And number 1 is energy. Energy is productivity, it's our vitality. It's a very trendy term, but it's who we are. Everything is energy. Now, what type of energy that's present in the moment is totally up to us, and we are in control of that. And the energy in the context of this conversation, I would say, is through food and fitness. If we're going to execute on something, we need energy. If we're going to perform, if we're going to go to the gym today, if we're going to have a conversation, we need energy. Energy is so important, and I think understanding that it comes through how we move our bodies, what we put into our bodies, if we can just start there, it really will help with us being able to achieve our goals. It really will help us achieve our goals. It really will help us execute in this moment, have high energy. And high doesn't mean, again, doing backwards flips, always jumping around, or the upside down emoji, which I love. It's a feeling. It's a strength. I'm alive in this moment. I hear you, I see you, I feel you. How can we have this conversation with self to move forward or with someone else? And energy is so important. If we can just start with the very basic and realize that our energy does come from what we put into our body and how we move it. And there's so many things we could do around that. We talk a lot about that on IM, but if you can please start with food and fitness, it really helps. It's our vitality. It is our strength. And also energy does come from what we consume, not only through our mouths, but through our ears, through our eyes, what we watch, what we listen to, who we talk to. Energy, we're absorbing all of that. So in order to execute on things, we need to understand our energy is everything. And we're born with a powerful energy. Sometimes it gets watered down. We lose some of our energy, or we feel diluted, or we need a recharge, and it's gonna be because we have to look in our areas in our life. It can be food and fitness for you. It could be what you watch. It could be what you read. Energy is real, but I would definitely say start with food and fitness to give us more energy to do the things we need to do. So another place in executing, again, whatever the goal is, and that's the next one, is we have to have goals. If there's no direction in our life, if there's no goal, and we can go to something as simple as, in this moment, I should be tying my shoe to get out of the door to go wherever I'm trying to go. Every day I want to be to work at 7:30. Every day I want to be in bed by 11:30. Every day I want to brush my teeth in the morning and at night. These are goals. Again, goals don't have to be grandiose. This conversation is really for young ladies in their 20s. And even for myself in the decade that I am, just understanding the power of goals in order to execute on life, in order to make things happen. We have to have goals. They're the boundaries that we set for ourselves. And I like to really keep it simple, making our beds every day. These type of goals move us towards those other goals, because if we can't do the simple things in our life every day, the major goals are going to be more of a struggle. I'm not going to say you can't achieve them, but I believe that it helps when we start doing the simple things first. And only you know what that is. Making your bed every day, could that be it? No, but that could be a place to just help with some discipline, some routine. The key is we need routine. We need goals, and goals help us with routine. So set the goal, do it every day so that it can help with the execution. So the goals is going to come with your will and your want. What do I want? How can I make that happen? That's going to be so important. So in order to execute on things in life, to rid of behaviors or to perform well, we need energy and we need goals. Goals around what do I want and how am I going to do that? And I believe that is the power of routine, the power of focus. There's so many pieces in there, but goals, start with the goal. What do I need to do today? What are my goals for today? What do they look like? What are my goals for next week? What are my goals around my wellness? What are my goals around my money? What are my goals around my relationships? And it's not so much that it's all over the place. Remember, we talk about pillars or things in life that are real, that we have to show up for. So it's more of a real self-talk. It's more of a conversation with self, writing some things down And I promise you, it's just when those moments present yourself, all you're doing is recalling the goals, recalling the things you wrote down, recalling from your memory. So we're reprogramming our minds. We are. And it's through writing, it's through habits, it's through setting the goals and achieving them daily. So setting goals is so important. What do you want? How are you going to do that? That's going to be the willpower. And that goes back to energy, that willpower. You know, if we're tired and we're not getting the sleep that we need, we're not eating properly, we're not moving our bodies to get that blood pumping, we're not going to feel like it. And even when we do all of those things, we oftentimes don't feel like it because our brain is the machine that says, okay, you are tired. But when you have the energy, you move forward on it. So to execute through life, don't forget those goals, don't forget that energy. And the last thing I would definitely say is support. Support is so important, whether it's through family, whether it's through friendships, whether it's through mentorship, whether it's through books, podcasts, social media. Support to me is really everything we have access to that gives us a comfort behind what we know we want to do. And comfort doesn't mean comfortable and let me just sit here and do nothing. Comfort meaning I can do this because A, I feel well, and also that I know they're rooting for me. It feels good to know that someone's cheering you on. It feels good to know that you had a conversation with someone, they believed in your vision and they support you. So support doesn't always mean in the moment I need to pick up and call someone, or in the moment, let me stop and listen to a podcast because I'm struggling. I truly believe moving forward on that goal, the support just taps in like, oh, I remember when she said this. I remember when I read that. The support just kicks in naturally. Don't disrupt your day to call someone. Don't disrupt your day to pick up a book and try to find something you read. When we start moving forward, the support arrives. When we move forward, that support arrives. So to execute is really a process of understanding I'm in control of what I put in my body. My goals, every single day, I have the opportunity to create goals from the time I wake up. And again, yes, I know we're going to work and I know we have obligations that already have taken a chunk out of our day. But outside of work, our 9 to 5, we should have goals. I believe it should start with fitness. If you don't know where to start, I would say fitness, finance, food. You know, I'm going to go to our F-bombs right here on I Am, family, relationships. These things are so important because they're given to us. So why not do them in a very healthy way? So our goals are very intentional. They're daily. It's not this long to-do list. It's a very present moment to moment list. And it's a feeling, it's an understanding that I have to do this in this moment to get to where I want to be ultimately. So goals. And then the last thing, again, support. Support is so important. Again, it looks different for everyone, but you have to find support system. You have to find outlets. Therapy is support. But again, I want to speak to the execution piece. In the moment, if I'm trying to execute on goals, if I'm trying to perform, if I'm trying to rid of habits, the best education is the practice in the moment. I promise you it is so true. I had to apply these things to my life. In many areas of my life. And I have called people. I have picked up books in the moment. I have tried to like, okay, let me go through my notes. It's like being on that test in school. You know, you have open note tests. I used to be that teacher, like, okay, let me give you an open note test. Just pop quiz. You can use your notes. That's fine. Life's going to do that. But in this position, I would say as we execute and we continue to grow and move forward, we need some closed notes tests where we're not picking up the phone calling people, where we're not trying to run to the gym. Even in the moment, sometimes for me, that support, like I feel certain ways like, okay, I need to go get a run in because that's my natural therapeutic. That's my habit. No, you don't need to run. You need to sit right here. You need to do the things that you probably don't want to do. Execute. So in order to execute, we need the energy. We need those intentional goals and we need to move on them. And we need to understand that support is powerful. And we can pull from our support system at any moment. We can pull from the thoughts, you know, the conversations that we had, the things we've listened to, we've read. And most important, just like, you know, that David and Goliath in the Bible. David knew he could slay Goliath. Why? Because he had done it before. We can always, you know, and in not so much he had done slay Goliath, but it's the concept of I can do this because I've done other things. I can do this because I've done other hard things in my life. And sometimes it's going to be the hardest thing that we ever had to do, may be present in this moment, but that takes us to our next step of victory in our life, of triumph, of overcoming. So stay true to the journey. Execute every single day. And that's a ridding of habits, unlearning things, and it's a performance in the moment to take us closer to where we want to be. And that's truly just the highest version of ourselves. our future self awaits our arrival in a very peaceful way, in a welcoming way, not in a struggle way, not in a, you're doing things wrong, but it's a welcoming of self. It's a unwrapping of who we are each and every day. So be intentional about your energy, your goals, and the support system in which you surround yourself with. Have a beautiful, beautiful